So Versace just released an Eau de Parfum version of Eros. Could it possibly be stronger than the original? Stay tuned to find out. Alright, so today's video is going to be another unboxing, first impressions, and update video. This time it comes from the house of Versace. It is their latest release, Eros Eau de Parfum. So Eros Eau de Parfum from the house of Versace is a men's oriental woody fragrance released in 2020. The nose behind this fragrance is Olivier Peuchot and is an Eau de Parfum concentration. Alright, let's check out the presentation. So here's the box for Eros Eau de Parfum. This is going to be very easy, guys. This is almost identical to the Eros box, the original. The only difference is it says Eau de Parfum here at the bottom. I'm sure it has some different information on the back, but overall it's the same box. Let's check out the bottle. So here's the bottle for Eros Eau de Parfum. Like I mentioned with the box, this bottle is identical to the original Eros. I do have the original right here. You can see them side by side. They're the same size. The caps look identical. I think maybe the cap on the original is slightly darker, but they both have the gold atomizer. They have the Medusa on the cap still, the Medusa on the glass. The only difference is that it does say Eau de Parfum here at the bottom, but other than that, they're identical. Alright, so here are the notes for Eros Eau de Parfum. In the top we have lemon, mandarin, mint, and candied apple. In the mid we have geranium, clary sage, and ambroxan. And in the base to round things off with cedar, vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, leather, vanilla, and bitter orange. Yeah, so real quick, I want to congratulate my Dallas Stars for advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals. Real proud of my team. They played some really tough games in this playoff run, so super proud of them, and I'm hoping that we can win the cup, bring that cup back to Dallas. It's been 20 years since we had the cup here. But yeah, so Versace Eros Eau de Parfum. Very excited when I heard about this one. Apparently an Eau de Parfum version, which, you know, to me, the thing that's going to be a stronger version than the original, guys. And I got to be honest with you, the original was pretty strong already, so I don't know why they made an Eau de Parfum version. They did keep a lot of the same notes. I'll get to that in a minute. They added a few here and there, but they did keep a lot of the same notes. I imagine it's going to be the same, but I think they butchered up with a couple of certain notes here. But there was a conspiracy theory saying that when it first came out, it was super duper strong, and that's how everyone really remembers it. But the newer formulations over the years actually have gotten weaker, and so, you know, their business-minded ways, I guess, decided to make a stronger version to sort of bring back the original formula and just kind of change up a couple of notes here and there to kind of change it up a little bit, but to actually make it stronger to profit off of the reformulations over the years. Not sure if that's true. It sort of makes sense that that's what they would do. Obviously, you kind of water it down over the years and then make it strong again. But, you know, not really sure if that's what happened. Again, it makes sense, but I'm not really sure if that's what's going on. But yeah, you know, I do like this one. I've kept this bottle in my collection for a long time. And I wasn't too thrilled when Flame came out. I mean, Flame was pleasant. It had decent performance, but it just was a little too similar to the original. It didn't go away from it as much as I had wanted to, and had a lot of geranium in it. This also has geranium, so I'm hoping it doesn't have too much in it to really kill the fragrance, but I believe that the Flame had way too much geranium. It was way too floral to my nose anyway. A lot of people said they didn't get a lot of florals in that one, but I did, so it sort of ruined that fragrance for me. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. So let's give this fragrance a first impression. All right, here we go. Clean hand, pop the cap. Remember, these have been good sprayers, so we'll see if they kept that. Oh yeah, decent sprayer on this one. Okay, yeah, definitely getting the original DNA from Eros. I'm gonna have to get them side by side here in a second, unless I just do it over the update, but yeah, definitely the same composition, definitely getting the mint. Definitely getting all the citrus notes. There's no tonka bean in this one, but they did keep the vanilla because I'm getting some sort of sweetness. I believe tonka bean was kind of a big player in Versace in the dry down, so I wonder where it's going to go in that stage, but right now I am getting a lot of the same DNA. This one's a little fresher, a little mintier almost, like the mint is actually like cleansing my nostrils here. But again, I'll get them side by side here and I'll let you guys definitely know the differences, but as of right now, it seems like it's a lot fresher, a little brighter, not as sweet. Again, I could be wrong. But they did decide to use candied apple instead of green apple, so I assumed it was going to be very sweet. And right now it's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be, but it's definitely still sweet. Very minty, citrusy, fresh. The ambroxan is there. It's giving it that ambroxan type of loudness. It's not super like Sauvage or anything like that. It just has that loudness. It's woody. Yeah. This is probably going to be a stronger version of the original. And I know that's kind of obvious, like Captain Obvious, you know, reporting for duty here. But a lot of these houses will put out an EDP and it'll smell completely different. You know, I think YSL with the La Nuit series, they butchered a lot of their fragrances calling them eau de parfums, and they smell nothing like La Nuit or the original L'Homme. This one is just a stronger version of Eros, but again, my bottle, I don't know what year it is, I'll have to tell you guys later, but my bottle here is still very strong. I don't know what batch it is or what year this actually came out, but my bottle is still very, very strong. So I don't know if I need a stronger version of Eros right now. Maybe the 2019 version was weaker, who knows? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get these side by side. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a spray now and just see how it is on my right hand. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think the EDT definitely smells like a watered down version of the new one, of the EDP, which makes sense, right? This is gonna be a stronger version. But it's just crazy because whenever I sprayed this one on and I smelled it, it smelled like regular Eros to me. But when I put them side by side, this thing doesn't even like come close to this one. Anyway, right now, the PARFUM, right now, in my opinion, the PARFUM's a better composition, which makes sense. It's going to have stronger notes in it. It's going to has a few more added notes. Not getting the leather yet, but it's definitely, it's nice. I do like it, and might be worth selling the old bottle to get the new one, honestly, because this one smells very similar to the original, but it just lasts longer and it's heavier and thicker and just more robust and just has a lot more going on with the same results. Then you might gonna want to get the new EDP version, because right now I'm pretty impressed with it. Again, it smells like Eros. It's better. That makes sense. Just, I don't know if it's more natural smelling, if it's just better ingredients, probably just a better composition, or the fact that it's just stronger could be it as well. But yeah, so far I'm liking this fragrance. Kind of you know, reinventing the wheel here, but I guess if that wheel is just sturdier and runs a little better, rides a little smoother, then I guess you can, you know, get the other one. But I'm gonna wear this fragrance tonight and over the next few days. Give you guys an update shortly. Talk to you then. Alright, well, I'm back with my update for Eros Eau de Parfum from the house of Versace. Yeah, so I spent the last couple of days with this fragrance, and I gotta say, I do like it. It's a good fragrance, but just to kind of put it plainly and to kind of keep this segment here short, it smells pretty close to the original formulation of Eros. And the only really big difference I got, honestly, was the lack of tonka bean in the dry down. This dry down had a stronger patchouli note and a stronger, well, actually a leather note, but a stronger patchouli note. But with the added leather, it turned into like a dry, more mature type of dusty leather in the dry down. But I gotta be honest with you, I know there's some, you know, better noses and some better experts out there than me, but it just kind of honestly smelled the same. Minus the performance, and I'll get to that in a minute. But even that had a few similarities. But overall, I think this fragrance is pretty similar to the original, just a stronger version, which is good because I'm always touting how that's what I want in an eau de parfum version of a fragrance. You know, sometimes they change the formulation too much, or they can just completely change it to where it smells nothing like the original. And I think this is a case where they actually kept the same smell of the fragrance and just added a few things here and there just to kind of amp up the performance of it. But again, like I said, I'm sure you guys might pick up other nuances here and there, other little slight changes, or just something else that stands out more to y'all than to my nose. But right now, this fragrance is the same as the original. Longevity for this fragrance was excellent. I got 8+ hours, if not more, but I'll just, to be safe, I'll say 8+ hours with this fragrance every time I wore it, which is great. It is an eau de parfum, and don't get me wrong, the original Eros lasted 8+ hours as well, depending on, you know, again, if it was an early formulation or not. But this one for sure does get 8+ hours, and for longevity, that's great. Projection for this fragrance was really good as well. I'm not going to say it's a beast, and it didn't fill up a room like some other fragrances that I could probably name that are probably stronger than this one. But this one is no slouch. This one really did project really, really well. The first 3 hours were the strongest, and it hung around quite a bit. Like I mentioned, the longevity, it lasted pretty much all day long. But the projection was really, really good too. Now, it wasn't beast and it wasn't monstrous. Maybe some of you guys will get better results, but on my skin, this one was strong, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't really filling up a room. I wore this one to work, and I work in a small office, and I, you know, honestly didn't really get any negative feedback. I didn't get any good feedback either, to be honest with you, but I know this one smells good. I always get complimented on the original. I just think because we kind of work in a quiet environment, no one's really saying much, honestly. But this one, you know, I didn't get any complaints for being the cologne guy, so I know for sure that it wasn't offending anybody. Yeah, but the first 3 hours were excellent. Projection for this fragrance. Seasons for this fragrance, well, if you guys haven't guessed already, this is going to be perfect for the fall and winter. This is a very heavy, thick, sweet, spicy scent. And I'm sure most of you guys wear Eros in the cooler months anyway, and this being so similar to the original Eros, it's going to be the same months, so definitely fall and winter are perfect for this fragrance. Occasions for this fragrance, well, since this one is really, really close to the original Eros, I'm going to imagine you guys are going to wear this for the same occasion. So that's going to be evening events, definitely date night. Anything where the lady's going to be around, or if you're with your lady, it's going to be perfect for this fragrance. This one always gets compliments from the ladies. So, you know, club scent. This is definitely a club banger. This one's slightly stronger than the original, so you're definitely going to want to wear this one to the club. You'll definitely get noticed wearing this one as well. But yeah, so evening events, formal events, anything at night is perfect for this fragrance. Ages for this fragrance, well, everyone says that Eros is a very juvenile fragrance, and this one really doesn't move too far away from the original formulation yet. It has a few extra notes in it, but the only, my nose anyway, the only extra notes that I picked up were really in the dry down, and that was the leather and the patchouli. It made it slightly, ever so slightly more mature than the original, but overall I still think that the younger guys can pull this one off, so I think that 20 and up would be a perfect age range for this fragrance. So overall, I do like this fragrance, but I'm not going to say I love it. It really all depends on if there really was a watered down version of Eros put out there over the years. And if you guys think you have that version, then you're going to want to try the EDP version, the Eau de Parfum version here, because this one definitely is stronger. If you guys remember a stronger version of that, at some point, you know, over the years, then this one definitely is going to be just like that one, if not a little bit heavier and thicker in composition. But overall, it smells the same to my nose. There's no tonka bean in this one, which that's kind of a big red flag for me. I loved the tonka bean dry down in the original. This one still has the vanilla and the candied apple, so it's still very sweet. But it just doesn't have that gourmand feel that I really, really loved about this fragrance in the dry down. But, you know, it's not a deal breaker, but some of you guys may notice that. But this one is just very close to the original. Again, if you guys already own that one, I don't know if it's going to be, you know, if it's going to warrant owning both bottles. So I definitely think this is a must-try fragrance. Just to get your nose on it, go to Macy's or Dillard's, try it out, see if you like it. But, you know, I wouldn't shell out the big bucks on this one right now. I think this one was like, you know, over $100 for 100 ml. Yeah, you know, like I said before, if you guys like the original, but you think it's lost some of its performance over the years, then you're going to want to try this one. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with it because it's very heavy, it's very strong. This stuff lasts all day. It's not going to clear out a room with this projection, but it gets the job done. You'll definitely get noticed with this one. You know, not really too many bad things I can say, except that it just does remind me of the original. And if you own both bottles, you might not want to own both of these. Try before you buy, guys. It's the best advice I can give you because who knows, maybe you'll like this one better and maybe you'll pick up more differences than I did. Honestly, there's only a couple that I really picked up and they weren't, you know, that big of a deal, honestly, except maybe the tonka bean, but I can live without it. Honestly, I think I'm going to stick with my original bottle, guys. I'm going to stick with my original bottle of Eros because, you know, I wore these side by side. You know, I wore this one to work, sprayed my chest, and I sprayed my left arm, but on my right arm, I sprayed the original you know, formula, and I got a different opening in the sense to where this one was a little bit sharper and woodier. This one was a little bit heavier and thicker, which is good. from the get-go, you know, with a fragrance. But honestly, this one stayed on my arm all day too. And in this one, like I would, you know, take whiffs off of both arms, and they were honestly the same strength. And now that's about as much as I can do on my own. Honestly, I didn't really walk by people and go, "Hey, you know, check out my arm. What do you guys think about this projection?" But just, you know, taking a whiff here at the same few inches off my arm, I got the same smell and the same almost performance. Again, this one's a little bit heavier. The dry down's a little more mature with the leather and the patchouli. That's one, you know, why I think this one might eke out a little bit better performance than the original. So if that's what you're looking for, then you're gonna want to try this fragrance. But honestly, I think if you own the original, you're not going to get the new one. Alright guys, so now it's your turn. Has anyone out there tried Versace Eros Eau de Parfum? If you have, let me know your thoughts on this fragrance down in the comments below. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching another video on my channel. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future first impressions videos and fragrance related content just like this. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There, you'll find fragrance related photos and future contest winners. And as always, until next video, you guys take care. Thanks.